I'm David Trewern from DTDigital. I'm here with Brendon Cook from oMedia to talk about the way in which digital is changing the out-of-home media landscape.
Thanks, David. Pleasure to be here.
The Moving Minority Report showed us a future with interactive two-way billboards. How do you see digital technology transforming the out-of-home space? I mean, is Minority Report that sort of technology? Is that fanciful?
No, not in reality. It's not fanciful. On that sort of recognition technology, you know, the process is well underway to have a gender-based recognition, getting down to the individual. Obviously, I think in the future that will clearly probably link into mobile phones at some point if people want it to be. But you know, it's about where that will be still effective in terms of how it's used. We've still got to look at digital and the interaction with digital as being about how does the consumer want to engage in the advertising. Traditional outdoor advertising works by positioning a sign in an environment where someone can't help but see it. If you want an engagement model, you then got to say, are they going to be prepared to stop, or what will make them stop? So there's all those other questions that are around the creative side of how the product is used, and that will determine the ultimate success of the digital solution in the variety of forms that it will take.
So the mobile phone is potentially the link between out-of-home advertising and targeting of individuals, as well as having this sort of two-way conversation and call to action. What are the latest developments in that area?
Well, clearly we've all seen the QR codes. There's the MoCom where you can have the snap and play with a picture. But I think the reality is what we're seeing is as consumers change their mobile phones over to smartphones, and in 5 years most phones will be smartphones, that opens up a whole variety of ways that you can interact and engage with clients. As an example, at Times Square near the cheap ticketing area, one of the billboards there was transformed, and people in the queue could go into their Facebook site and their mobile phone and could actually now play a game with the billboard against other people in the queue. So I mean, there's examples now just starting to come through where, yes, it was probably expensive, yes, probably wasn't cost effective, but it certainly got a lot of publicity worldwide. Those sorts of approaches to technology will continue to evolve. But really, consumers are spending a lot of just as much time, if not more time, away from home. But when they're away from home, the mobile phone will still allow them to be connected to the net, to their social media sites, to asking for and receiving coupons, rich media, all those sorts of other ways that digital will be used. So consequently, outdoor advertising plays a unique role in that it's the medium that engages with people in that environment.
We recently did some work with Myer where we projected user-generated content onto Fed Square. How do you think advertisers can make digital signage work with user-generated content, and what do you think it can help them achieve?
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about engagement in that model. And can I create an environment where people wish to engage with me as a client when they're away from home? And that's exactly what you did with the Myer campaign, the example I just used in New York, Times Square. You've had other examples where people have they get photographed somewhere and then their picture appears on billboards. The coupon, all that engagement model will continue to evolve, as in particular the technologies allow the involvement to occur. And I think if we look at outdoor advertising, it was great for positioning a brand, positioning its message. Now you can position a brand, position its message, but actually get the client or the consumer to actually hear more, understand more about the product, if you like, get all the rich understanding about that product delivered to them in their hand, and that's going to be one of the great changes.
Google recently filed a patent for technology that allows local stores to tie their inventory to outdoor billboards, ATMs and displays in shopping malls and so forth. With all of their rich data about customers and so forth, how do you see companies like Google changing the environment for outdoor media?
Well, I think we've seen how Google are very quick to pick up where the world's going ahead of most people. But ultimately, Google also understands that if my only model is to engage when someone's sitting at home or at work, then I'm missing this incredible opportunity. We also know that retailers are looking at how they can take the opportunity to use in the environment that they draw their customers on, their immediate environment, and how can I get more response. So we see that that technology is going to allow them, if you like, it's 10 o'clock for the next 15 minutes, this t-shirt's on special for $5. So the whole way you can engage a broader audience within a proximity is going to be the case. So if you take Google's example there, it's not so much about broadcast, it's going to be more about, could I be on all the media within an immediate catchment proximity where someone could walk to my store, and could I tell all that audience that for the next 15 minutes the t-shirts are $5, and have that also communicated via digital signage in my window display, and then as I go in to a digital sign above the actual stand where the $5 t-shirts are, for the next with a countdown clock. So I think it's that change of how you start to evolve all those opportunities together into an environment where it's much smaller and much more targeted, and how people engage in that can therefore engage quickly.
So finally, are there any interesting plans that you'd like to talk more about with regards to the short or long-term goals and things on the horizon for oOh!media's digital out-of-home offer?
The short term is very simple. The retail area will continue to grow and expand. Retail, I mean in shopping centres. And obviously from the large format billboard area, us and the other industry are working hard with the roads and traffic authorities around Australia to move that forward, so that the large format billboards can be converted to some form of digital signage. It then comes back down to the creative angle. Different digital media in different environments can obviously have their creative behave differently. If I'm in a lift, I can behave differently. If I'm in a place-based media environment where I'm actually sitting and will engage with the product, it would need different creative content. If I'm in a retail environment, it's more like digital posters and a call to action component of it. So as we see that involvement in creative, I think we'll also see the involvement of which is the best way to place the media or the technology to evolve with the consumer the correct way. Coke did a fantastic job at their Times Square video, where they actually decided they wanted to make it look like people were doing something on the actual digital. So they created purpose-built creativity around things like rock climbing. So it looked like people were actually rock climbing up the face of the video, of the giant video screen. And I think we're only at the emerging area of where the creative side will lead, how you can use the technology, and how in different environments it will be used to suit that environment.